Hi everybody. Over the weekend, I had my family was in from out of town, and we were celebrating birthdays, and there was lots of food, lots of carbs, lots of cake. I'm Nigerian, so our food is typically lots of rice and just lots of carbs. And so I had spoken to Trey before to let him know that this was happening this weekend. So I was already planning for the weekend to kind of to have a cheat meal during the weekend. So Trey gave me a strategy. He was like, why don't you just, you can eat what you want, but start off with proteins. So my first plate was essentially just proteins. Hold on, sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry. So yeah, my first round was just proteins, and then my second round I then dibbled and dabbled with carbs. And the next morning I just wanted to test. I did the pee test to see what my color was. I really thought my color was gonna be gone because I did quite have like a substantial amount of carbs, but my pee color was still purple. Well, I'm sorry, it was dark pink. So and I think because I had those proteins first, my first plate again was strictly proteins and a little bit of asparagus. And by the time I got to the carbs, I was already full, so I didn't really want to even eat it. I just ate it because it was there. So that's in a nutshell what happened.
Okay. And what I would love for you to do is tell us the absolute worst day that you had this weekend, just so people can hear semantics. So tell us what your first meal would look like and what your second meal look like, and name everything.
Me?
Yeah.
If I had a bad weekend,
No, if you had the worst day that you had this weekend, even though you didn't do bad.
the worst meal I had this weekend was cake. I had cake.
Okay.
I had vanilla cake. I don't really eat icing. I took the icing off, but I had vanilla cake. I had some like donut balls. It's like a pastry we have from my country. I think those are the two things. And I had some meat pies. I think that was it. I tried not to drink my calories. That was one thing I was mindful of. I was like, I'm not gonna drink any juices or any drinks. So I just had like sparkling water.
Okay. So on this particular day that you had the donut balls, basically the cake and the meat pies, what was your first meal of the day?
My first meal of the day was that morning. I had scrambled eggs with salmon.
Okay. Scrambled eggs and salmon, ladies.
And
Why? Two proteins. And what was your carb?
my carb was, I don't think I had a carb.
Okay. So that's just how you start off your day. How many eggs did you
Yeah, I
make?
started off I started off my day with just salmon and the eggs.
And how many eggs did you make?
I did three. I always do
Three.
three eggs.
So you see what I'm saying, ladies? What do enough means is about three eggs, but you know she didn't just stop with the eggs. She had three eggs and about 4 ounces of salmon. So once again, if you get the salmon and you cut it in half, that's about 4 ounces. Each plank of salmon is about 8 ounces. So she had salmon and eggs. There's not a meal on earth that is better to start off your day than that. Because not only getting protein, you're getting the right type of fats that's good for your brain health, that's going to help regulate your hormones and keep you satiated. Okay? So then after that meal, what did you have after that, Marianne?
After that, I had a chicken thigh and a
Okay.
chicken leg, a drumstick,
Okay.
and then I had asparagus.
Okay. So then after that, she had a second meal. Chicken thigh, chicken leg, asparagus, right? So then after that, what did you have?
That was it.
So what was the day where you had the cake and all that? Or that was after that meal?
That was Saturday. Yep, the day after is when I had that.
So tell me from start to finish how that day went so people can hear the sequence of your day.
Which day?
The Saturday, the worst day.
Oh, the Wednesday. Yeah. So that's so the party started in the afternoon.
Okay.
So by the time when I have salmon and eggs, I'm so full. Like I could actually, because I break my fast at 11 a.m. between 11 and 11:30.
Okay.
So by the time I finish eating, it's like 12, 15-ish.
Okay.
So I'm like 4 ounces of salmon, three eggs. I'm so stuffed. Sometimes I add another like protein to it. I'll do like a side of ground turkey as well, but I didn't do it on Saturday because I knew I was gonna eat at the party.
Okay.
So I stopped eating at the party at, I think, 7 p.m. on the dot.
Okay, so you notice how she knew that she was gonna go to a party, but she still started off her day the right way, which was the eggs and the salmon, right? So Marianne, you realizing that if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
And because you had your salmon and eggs at the party, right? Right after that, to the best of your ability, if you can remember, what did you have right after that salmon and eggs? Was that the meat
Right
pie
after,
or the cake?
that's when I had that's when, oh no, no, yeah. I went to the party. I had salmon and eggs. We got to the party around around 3 o'clock.
Okay.
And the first meal I had at the party was the plate filled with, there was grilled beef. I had grilled beef. I had asparagus. I had grilled chicken. I had grilled thighs, and I had some grilled wings.
So not only she left home going to a party, knowing that she was going to eat what she kind of want at this party, she still planned accordingly and still started off her day at the party with a protein-based plate. And because she chose to do that, she is kind of so full where now she can eat what she wants, which means she's still getting satisfied because she's still choosing to eat what she wants, but she's not able to throw down as much.
Exactly.
Y'all see what I'm saying, ladies? So ultimately, if you know you're having a day where you know you're about to live your life, like some of y'all, I spoke to some of y'all already. Y'all saying this weekend is some of y'all birthdays, or y'all going to have some festivities, y'all having a family brunch or family thing. My dad's birthday is on Sunday. So we're going out this weekend, right? I don't ever want y'all to tell yourselves, hey, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and starve myself for the whole entire day until I get to this event. Because ultimately, what you're going to do at that event, now you're going to wild out.
Yep.
But because you told yourself that I didn't eat all day, you're giving yourself the allowance to have that mindset. So now, you know what? It's not that bad if I just have 2 slices of cake and I have about 8 donut balls. And then, you know what? I did have a little bit of 4 meat pies. That's how we say it. And that's how we rationalize it. And then y'all hit up my phone the very next day. Yo, Trey, the scale went up 2 pounds. I don't know why. I just had a day. It wasn't a weekend. Because you went wild on that day. Okay? So Mary Ann told me on, I think, Thursday, if not Friday, Trey, I'm about to go to this party. I'm afraid. And I said, Mary Ann, why are you afraid? She said, Trey, because this is a Nigerian cookout. I'm Nigerian. I'm going to eat what I want. And I said, okay, Mary Ann, eat what you want. What I want you to do is keep the same routine. Do not leave the house until you have a meal first.
Yeah.
And then when you get to that party, since it's a cookout, which means you got a variety of food. What people usually do at a cookout is say, hey, I don't have access to this food anymore, or throughout the whole course of my average day. So I'm just going to eat whatever I want from sunup to sundown. She said, you know what? Or I told her, hey, your very first plate got to be nothing but protein.
Yeah.
So she did exactly what I said, right? Then the very next plate, she had whatever she wanted. Now she had meat pies. Now she had donut balls. Now she had cake, right? But because she chose to have the donut balls, the cake, and the meat pies, how many alcoholic drinks did you have, Marianne?
0.
Exactly.
0. And I honestly didn't even need those things. I would just bite them just to get the taste, because I was full from all the protein. So it's like eating the other pastries. I was just like, let me just eat them because I have enough protein in my system. So I trust that the protein is going to do the work.
Right. And the end result, the very next following day, what happened on the scale?
It dropped.
There you
It
go.
didn't drop significantly, but it did drop by 0.4.
And here's the thing. After you're having cakes and all that stuff, you should expect the scale to drop significantly. But the fact that it still dropped means that even the day of her getting what she wants, she is still on course to hit her goal.
Yeah.
Ladies, that is the definition of cheating smarter. Okay? So one thing I want y'all to understand is the mindset behind when we choose to cheat, why we're cheating. When people usually cheat, I don't know about y'all, but we all got a fat boy and fat girl in us, where we're looking for a sense of being full.
Yeah.
Sometimes overly full. So when I go to that I go to the movie theaters, get my popcorn. If I eat before I go to the movie theaters, and then I eat my popcorn, I notice I feel the exact same amount of satiety as I did if I chose to not eat before I went to the movie theaters and have a large tub of popcorn and keep eating that popcorn until I feel it. We're chasing a feeling. Now, the popcorn is going to help us get to that feeling, but the protein is going to help you get to that feeling faster. So 9 times out of 10, if somebody wants ice cream, right, because you're looking for a certain sense of ice cream, you don't need a whole carton of ice cream, or you don't need a whole pint of ice cream. You just don't want some ice cream. But if you're already full and then you try to have your ice cream, you're always going to notice you're going to feel better about it, and you're not going to have the crazy stomach aches, and you're not going to notice the scale shoot up, versus you choosing to say, you know what, today I'm having a bad day, I don't give a F, I'm just going to eat whatever I want. And now I'm going to try to get full off this thing that I know I'm not supposed to be having. So never have naked carbs, ladies. Have some protein first before you go to that party. Do not starve yourself until you get to that party. I don't want y'all to keep saying that. I'm gonna fast until I go to this event. Have an actual meal that's gonna keep you kind of good. So when you get to this party, you're gonna have more common sense. Because when you go into this party and you're hungry as hell, now your amygdala is activated and your brain do not care about, oh, is it protein based or is this carb based? Your brain care about, I'm hungry, bro. And you like that. Go get it. So just understand the psychology of why we're making food choices. All right? Cool. Thank you for sharing, Marianne. So I just want to applaud her because once again, she's seen the scale drop every single day this weekend and she was having some fun. Eat your calories, don't drink your calories. If you drink your calories and eat your calories, of course you can expect the scale not to drop as much. Okay? Danielle, you have a question? But that was an accident. Miss Callahan, do you have a question or no?
Sorry, no, that was my kids.
Okay, no problem, no problem. Hey, kids. All right, so, Yasmin, how you doing? How was your weekend?
My weekend was good. It was my boyfriend's birthday, and I did pretty damn
You
good.
did pretty dang good. Okay, all right. So, first off, happy belated to your boyfriend. Now, what day did the festivities start?
Well, Saturday it started actually at my best friend's proposal party,
Okay.
but I ate before I went to the party. They
Okay.
did most of the stuff they had was shrimp and grits and fried chicken,
you know us.
potato. It was brunch.
Okay.
Now I didn't eat at the party. I did have a few drinks at the party.
As you should.
Tequila, soda waters, and lime.
Okay.
And then when I got back home, I cooked. I had some wings, broccolini, and that was it, for real.
So, what I want you to do is tell me the absolute worst day you had this weekend, even though it don't sound like you had a bad weekend, and
Okay.
how did that day went from start to finish.
Worst day was on Sunday. Yeah, Sunday. Woke up to go golfing, had to put something on my stomach, but I just did a egg and peppers wrapped in a keto wrap. That was eggs, peppers, and cheese in a keto wrap. Now we went to Texas de Brazil, a Brazilian steakhouse for dinner.
Good eats.
They did have a little potatoes, French fries, and plantains come to the table. Did get a one scoop of little everything on that, but hella protein, hella meat after that.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So, that day, it sounded like you went to Texas de Brazil. That was your first meal today, technically?
No, the first meal was at 7. The breakfast, the egg wrap, it was at 7.
Okay, the egg wrap. Right?
Yeah, dinner was at 4.
Okay. So, you had an egg wrap. Then you basically rolled it out until 4 p.m.
Yep.
How many drinks did you have on Sunday?
One shot on Sunday, actually.
Okay. So because you had one shot, right? And because you had some potatoes, maybe some plantain, maybe a little bit of bread, right? But you had it earlier during the day because it was technically before 6 p.m. Eastern, right? Or in your case, Central. How did the scale respond on Monday?
It dropped.
There you go.
Yep.
So, ladies, what I'm trying to make y'all understand is, thank you for sharing, Yaz. Ultimately, you having carbs is not the end all be all. It's not gonna be, oh man, I had a carb today. Oh man, the scale's just gonna magic shoot up. The magical fairy's gonna come out and say, yep, the scale's gonna go up. That's not how it works. Yasmin had carbs. She had plantains. She had everything. It's like Fogo de Chao. You know, and they always bring out the bread first. They're gonna bring out plantains. They're gonna bring out some things or assortments that we like. But because she's at a all you can eat style type of restaurant, right? So they're walking around bringing the different cuts of meats, chicken, steak. When you have more protein in a day than carbs, you will always and should expect the scale to drop. Period. What we naturally do on the weekend, we say, woo, you unstrap y'all bra. You say, I'm living my life. I now can eat whatever I want. I'm just gonna have margaritas and all the carbs that I want. Y'all don't even look at a protein. That's where you go wrong, and then you're mad at the end result because carbs help your body store energy, which means you're not burning energy. So on a day like you're just living your life on the weekends, we'll, you know, I'm going out with my man. We're going to an Italian restaurant. I'm gonna get a cause Pepe a Capicio or something, or you're gonna get a bolognese. Okay, oh, y'all want to add chicken? Nope. Let me get a chicken Alfredo with no chicken. I literally dated a woman who said that before. It's like, bro, that's Alfredo. What are you talking about? So ultimately, we just crash out with our food choices. And once again, it's going to be exacerbated if you choose to not just eat your calories, but drink your calories. And people usually are social drinkers, which means over the course of the weekend, I might have a drink or two or three or four or five. Not putting nobody on the spot, but you know who you are. Okay? So if you know you're drinking some things, you better not be eating no starches. Plantains is a starch. Beans is a starch. Corn is a starch. Rice is a starch. Potato and bread is a starch. But if you did what Yasmin did, had some starches, but don't drink, it's not that deep. If you have all the starches like Marianne did, but don't drink, it's not that deep. But both of these women seen the scale drop over the weekend, celebrating birthdays because they had more protein throughout the whole course of a day than carbs, even though it was starches. Does that make sense, ladies? So that's what I'm trying to let y'all know. This is how you cheat smarter so you can make this program more sustainable. Monday through Friday, if Yasmin goes out, I can guarantee y'all, if she has to get a drink, it's going to be tequila soda. But notice how she didn't tell herself, oh, I can't have a drink. No, it's just going to be tequila soda. Now, if it's a Saturday, okay, if I want a margarita, I can have a margarita. But I'm at this Mexican restaurant, now I can't touch those queso and chips as much. Compromise. Don't allow yourself to have all the carbs. Be intentional with the carb sources. Okay? And once again, for the people in the back, the queso and chips is literally fried tortillas, which means it is carbs and fat. So every single time you have a tortilla, about each tortilla, by the way, has about 4 grams of carbs. People don't know that. So that means if you only eat 7 of those tortillas, you ate about 28 grams of carbs. So you got to be a lot more mindful with the things that they give to you as an appetizer than the actual entree. Okay? All right. Thank you for sharing, Yaz. Who else had a weekend where there was out and about?
Oh, real quick, I got my blood work done because I went to the doctor and told her I've been sleepy a lot, just tired. Vitamin D and iron, but she also said my cholesterol was 108 and she wanted it at 100.
She wanted lower than 108?
Yeah,
Okay, so so if you don't mind me asking, you know what? Let's have a topic about cholesterol too, ladies, because I heard some of y'all say that too. Do you know, was that your total cholesterol or was that your LDL?
I don't know.
Okay, that's the problem right there. Not on you, Yaz. On the physician.
Okay.
Here's why. So a lot of African Americans do not know that our cholesterol runs higher than any other ethnic group. Period. So you can find somebody who's almost identical to Yaz at the same age, same quality of life, same living situation, and our cholesterol is going to be a little bit higher. It's not going to be world's higher, but it's going to be like 10 points higher. So somebody's cholesterol is 100, Yaz is going to be 110. Here's the thing. you having cholesterol or checking out your total cholesterol is not what you need to be tracking. You want to track the type of cholesterol. And here's the reason why, right? So when y'all look at a cholesterol panel, y'all gonna see three different things. Y'all gonna see total cholesterol, which doesn't matter, because once again, just like calories, it doesn't matter. We don't care about the calorie count, we care about the quality of the calorie. Okay? Then after the total cholesterol, it's gonna say LDL, it's gonna say HDL. What the LDL does, by the way, it's a part of your immune system. A lot of people don't know that. But what the LDL does, it basically transports the cholesterol and fat or triglycerides into different cells, to different fats, to different muscles. It's the transporter. So think about LDL like a taxi, right? But then there's the HDL. Now the HDL, which stands for high density lipoprotein, this is the thing that's bringing the lipoprotein back to the liver. So you was taught all your life that LDL is bad and HDL is good. The reason why they're saying LDL is bad is because this is the thing that can ultimately get captured or get caught in your arteries. But in order for this to happen, the roads got to be messed up. So just like a taxi or an Uber, some of y'all been in an Uber and never been in a car crash in an Uber before. I know some clients who got in a car crash while in an Uber. What was the difference? The environment. When it's raining, right, it is easier for you to get in a car crash. But if it's not raining, I don't care how much cars are on the road, you could potentially drive home, let's say it's a 30, 40-minute drive, and literally see no car crashes. We've seen that before, right? Cool. So what the medical system is saying is ultimately, if we have less taxis on the road, technically, there's going to be less car crashes. Is there any truth to that? Yes. But all because there is more cars on the road doesn't mean there's going to be a car crash. Do you see what I'm saying? Now, what causes the cars to crash, or in this case, your LDL to get captured inside your arteries, where it gets stuck in your arteries, where it starts to build up plaque? Sugar. Sugar. So, sugar, real scientific term, is called glucose. Keyword, glue. Because sugar makes things sticky, just like gluten. Have y'all ever played with silly putty before? And you see how it be sticky as hell? Have anybody ever made bread from scratch before? And you have dough?
Yes.
And you see
Yes.
how sticky dough is to your fingers and stuff?
Yes.
That's what sugar is doing inside your body.
Wow.
People don't view it like that. So when sugar is glycating, which is the process of things being stuck to your cells, right? But if things are getting stuck to your cells because of sugar, now that creates plaquing. So think of sugar like it is raining hard as hell. So now it's hard for this taxi to maneuver. And sooner than later, potentially, if you keep adding more rainfall to this situation, 9 times out of 10, some people just pull over to the side. Cause like, yo, bro, I can't drive in this rain. This rain kind of crazy. Or some people try to thug it out and still try to get to their destination. And then they crash. That's what's happening when you have high LDL, not any type of cholesterol, LDL, and a lot of sugar in your bloodstream. That's why you don't want to just get a cholesterol panel. You also want to get a total comprehensive metabolic panel, or CMP, because the HbA1c with the cholesterol will tell you the whole story. Because if I'm pre-diabetic or diabetic, if you're pre-diabetic, ladies, honestly, you're diabetic. You just live in America. If you was in Egypt, if you was in Colombia, if you was in Australia, they'll say you're diabetic. We just like to make it cuter. So if you're a pre-diabetic and diabetes affects every single cell in the human body, it causes chronic inflammation in every single body or every single body part, right? And then you got high cholesterol or high LDL, then yeah, you definitely are at risk of having heart disease or atherosclerosis or heart attack or stroke. Makes sense. But here's a caveat. I told y'all LDL is a part of your immune system. Every single person who lived to 100, y'all can Google this, also were people who had elevated LDL. Why? Because LDL in the human body is supposed to be anti-inflammatory. So the people who are metabolically healthy, they're not eating a whole lot of sugar, and the LDL is elevated, will always outlive somebody whose LDL is lower and they're metabolically healthy. Do y'all see what I'm saying now? So for some people who's on like things like statins and stuff like that, if you know you're kind of overweight and you know you're kind of dealing with health issues and you're not the healthiest thing walking, then yeah, you should take a statin. But if your doctor tells you that your LDL is elevated, but then you look at the other metrics such as triglycerides. Marianne, do me a favor, mute your phone.
Oh, sorry.
It's all good, it's all good. But triglycerides basically turns into the wrong type of LDL. And what do triglycerides mean, if you see that on a blood chart, is your body converting the sugar or the excess sugar that you're giving your body to fat. So what y'all want to pay attention to, if you get your blood panel or your cholesterol blood work back, like I wish Yasmin had her blood work done and had it on her, because what I'll tell her to do is tell me 3 things. Tell me your total cholesterol, even though it doesn't matter, just make it sound cute. Your LDL, your HDL, triglycerides. Because if your triglycerides is under 60, you're healthy. Period. You got nothing to worry about. If your triglycerides is under 100, that's good. Not as ideal. If your triglycerides is over 100, you got to be mindful of what you're eating. Because your triglycerides only raise when your body's having too much sugar in its system. That's going to cause the glycation or making things sticky, which means now things are becoming more dysfunctional, which means now cells are sticking to each other, which means now it's causing plaque.
Okay, what I need to search on here? I just pulled it up.
You pulled it up?
Yeah.
Okay. So tell me what your LDL is.
Let me see. LDL, you said?
Yep.
11 matches of LDL. What the hell? Okay, sorry. Cholesterol LDL. Cholesterol total. That's what it got.
It should have LDL, HDL, triglycerides. Do you see that? Or low density lipoprotein. Pattern A or pattern B.
LDL is 108.
LDL is 108.
Yeah.
Anything over 120 is supposed to be at risk, but that doesn't mean high. So 108 is nothing to be alarmed about. How much HDL do you see?
HDL is 56.
56. Okay. What's your triglycerides?
78.
Okay. So is there something, ladies, called a triglyceride HDL ratio? Okay. So this will tell you exactly how well your body is doing. Yasmin don't know, based off the numbers she told me, her body is doing amazing. But her doctor is going to fearmonger her into thinking that she needs a medication or a drug to drop that LDL more. So guess what? You can help me send my kids to college. Every single time I put you on something, I get paid more on the back end. That's called a quality incentive. Can y'all see my screen? Okay, so triglyceride HDL ratio, right? So The triglyceride to HDL cholesterol ratio is a calculated value that can be used as a marker for cardiovascular risk and insulin resistance. It is calculated by dividing your triglyceride level by your HDL cholesterol. So now, Yasmin, what was your triglyceride? 78, right?
Yep, triglycerides are 78.
Okay. Watch this, y'all. 78 divided by, and you said your HDL was what, 56?
Yeah.
So right now, before I put up this number, if your number is close to 1.5, you are healthy as hell. If your HDL is close to 100, that means that you're going to live forever. If your triglyceride to HDL ratio is over 2.5, you need to fix your diet. So y'all see the range. 1.5 is ideal. You're doing amazing. 2.5, you need to keep it cute. You're wilding. 1.39. That means Yasmin is under 1.5. That means Yasmin's metabolism, her whole infrastructure of her body, is doing amazing. But because she went to a general physician, was this a cardiologist, Jasmine or Yasmin? Okay, you see what I'm saying? They're not taught this in medical school, y'all. They're not taught lipodomy in medical school. They're taught how to prescribe. Period. So they just look at their lab reports, and they see anything's elevated, they're gonna tell you, hey, you got it elevated. I think you should probably think about getting a statin. Somebody said, man, can you put those numbers in one of it? Yeah. And that's why I wrote it down. But Darlene, I got you. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in one of the messages, okay?
Sorry, can you tell me again what the 56? What is the 56?
56. So her HDL was 56. Her triglycerides were 78. In order for you to find out how well your cholesterol is doing, you want to divide the triglycerides by the HDL. So in her case, it was 78 divided by 56. Now, ironically, for African Americans, we want to keep it closer to 1.5, ideally under. Yasmin just hit 1.39. She got nothing to worry about. So next time a doctor says, hey, you might want to think about getting a statin, Yasmin should slap a backhand them, actually. Not even a slap, backhand. Get out of my face. Now, if you are of any other type of descent, then once again, the reason why African Americans are a little bit more skewed is because we're more at risk at heart disease, because technically we naturally got higher cholesterol than everybody else. But if yours is under 2, that is ideal. But for African Americans, 1.5. Anything over 2.5, I don't care what race you are, you need to pay attention to what you got going on. Okay? Now, yes, based off your lab report, do you see your HbA1c2 or no?
Let me just search. HbA1c. HB or HB as in Victor?
H, B as in boy, A as in apple, 1, C as in Charlie.
Got you. Oh, 5.5.
5.5. Anything between 5.7 to 6.4 means she is pre-diabetic, or better yet, diabetic. She is 5.5. She has absolutely nothing to worry about.
They actually did put that chart, that the ratio that you just said, they did put it under here too.
Which one? For HbA1c?
Yeah, they put the 5.7 to 6.4.
Y'all see what I'm saying? I'm not freestyling these numbers, yo. Now, yes.
Yep.
The only thing I am going to comment on, though, is did they do a fasting insulin or no? Type in fasting insulin.
No, I don't see. I searched fasting.
Yeah, they're probably not going to do that. What about, what was your vitamin D?
Okay, I did see that.
While she's looking, what was that 5.7 to 6.4
That's for your HbA1c. And
HbA?
yeah, HbA1c. So I'm gonna teach y'all how to do blood work on this call, obviously. But yeah, that's
Vitamin
what.
D, you said?
Yeah, vitamin D.
24.
Okay. Now that is kind of low, which means Yasmin don't go for walks. True or false?
No.
You okay? All right. At least she's real. Okay. So as African Americans, majority of us that's on this call, you want to have your vitamin D levels closer to 40 milligrams or nanograms per deciliter. One of those. Okay. But ultimately, if you're not somebody who's able to go for walks, then guess what? What I want you to do is make sure you're incorporating a little bit more seafood, which we naturally do not do as much, okay? Especially black people. The only time we get seafood is if we get a crab boil. All right? So
That's so interesting. I eat seafood at least 3 times a week.
Now, what type of seafood are you eating?
I eat salmon, I eat swat, I eat shrimp, I eat crawfish, I eat.
Okay.
It's just, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, at the end of the day, the most potent source of vitamin D that you can get from them sun rays.
Okay. Now she did tell me I get some vitamins for it to add to it, but to go outside a little bit more.
Go outside a little bit more. Okay? So, I'm going to share my screen again. One supplement y'all could take is Solgar, 5,000 IU. This is cool. Okay, can I? Okay, boom. Yeah, I can do that. Okay, I'm learning. So you want to have about 5 to 10,000 international units a day, especially if you're low on vitamin D. So you want to have, or what I would tell Yasmin to do is double dose this. Because if your vitamin D is low, your thyroid is not working as efficiently. What are you about to say, Yas?
I mean, she said that was clear, which I thought was crazy too. Because I've heard that too.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Your body is working off a system. Okay? So now let's say another thing that I keep telling all y'all ladies to do, which y'all don't want to listen to me, some of y'all do, is get Carlson's cod liver oil. Okay? This is the best thing you can get for your body, period. Carlson's cod liver oil. Because now this is going to have the vitamin A that your body needs. I don't know what the hell just happened. But this is going to have the vitamin A that your body needs. And try to get the liquid version, by the way. And the vitamin D your body needs. So every single day, I choose to get my Carlson's codfish liver oil. And I take a tablespoon of it every single day. You want to take a tablespoon if you're an adult. If you're a kid or if you have a child in the house and you want this child to be the smartest thing walking. So I know some of y'all got little kids. Take a teaspoon of this, add it inside their formula or add it inside their food or add it inside their water or whatever. You're going to notice that you got a brainiac. Because the docosahexaenoic acid, which is the main ingredient of fish oil, is exactly what your brain is made out of. So, ironically, no funny, not trying to be, use stereotypes, but we're taught that the smartest race on earth is what? Book smart. Asians. Thank you for being real. Asians, right?
And they're doorknobs.
Boom. Do y'all know why, technically, based off nutrition, they are the smartest people on earth? These people eat the most amount of seafood than everybody else. Which means they're giving their body and their brain more of the thing that their brain is actually made out of, docosahexaenoic acid, than any other race of people, especially Americans. Their omega-3 index, which basically you can only get from seafood, is 8%. The average American is around 4.5.
And that's not genetic?
It's not genetic. That's my point.
That's so interesting. I was pescatarian for 7 years.
Okay.
I just Switched over.
But here's the thing. There's nothing wrong with that. But ultimately, the best type of food group, just in general, like if you said, what is the best diet on earth? In theory, it's going to be pescatarian. For longevity. For overall health. Period. But once again, the things that naturally people from Asian descent do, they have more omega-3s, they have more sea kelp, right? They have seaweed snacks, stuff like that. Yes, they have rice, but rice is not the issue, is what you're mixing your rice with. They're not having a lot of fried foods. They're not having a lot of processed foods. And that's why if y'all Google right now, matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead. Now I know how to share my screen. I'm going to keep sharing my screen. Watch this, y'all. So you just got to learn from other people on the why. What country has the longest, I don't know why is it all caps. My bad, y'all. I got to do it again. What country has the longest life expectancy? Let's see what they say.
Dum, dum, dum.
Monaco, Hong Kong, Japan. Boom. Y'all see what I'm saying? The people who are eating the most amount of seafood, period. Monaco is a Mediterranean lifestyle. That means they're eating more seafood. They're eating a little bit more lamb. They're not eating nothing man-made. Japan and Hong Kong, that's China if I'm not mistaken. They're eating a whole lot of rice. Oh, Trey, I thought rice is bad for me. No, it's the rice in America, the way we manipulate it, the heavy metals that's inside of it, but they're eating a lot more seafood. Okay? So ultimately, it's not because, it's genetics, right? It's the fact that they naturally eat more things that's going to help build your brain. Okay? So one thing that a lot of people, or once again, people who come from a doctor background and all that stuff, they literally, I could show y'all multiple podcasts where they say, little Tommy, I'm putting a tablespoon or a teaspoon of fish oil inside his formula, inside his bottle. And then they end up going to Harvard and Yale and Columbia and Cornell and Brown and all that. Because I know if I'm basically fertilizing their brain at a young age, they're going to pick up information easier, faster. It's not because of genetics. Okay? So now, when you want to talk about real genetics, something that's genetic that you really can't beat, you can see out of any type of race, the race that can be the heaviest weight and not die, believe it or not, is Caucasians. They can get to 400, 500, 600 pounds and be A-okay.
My 600-pound life.
It's majority of what?
Caucasians.
There you go.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? I'm not freestyling this, y'all. The second one is going to be black. We can get to the heaviest weight without not a whole lot of complications. Okay? But in cholesterol or heart attacks or heart disease and little things like that, we're the race at the highest risk from dying from sudden stuff, hypertension or heart attacks or strokes, right? But technically also off our physicality, we build muscle faster. So that is our genetic predisposition or advantage. We can get, that's why we're more athletes. Let's call it a spade. Okay? Now, people from Indian descent, they're not dying from malaria, stuff like that, right? But people who are Asian usually live longer, but they can't be heavier. So for instance, if somebody who is Caucasian is 210 pounds, and somebody who is black is 210 pounds, and somebody who is Asian is 210 pounds, that Asian is going to go through a lot more health trouble faster if they're all at the same height. Their body's not made for that. Their genetics is not made for that. They're supposed to be lean. They're supposed to be small. But because you're lean and small, if you look at the animal kingdom, the animals that are the smallest don't got a lot of muscle mass, right? They're more on the lean or frailer side. They live the longest. So animals that are smaller always outlive animals on average that are bigger. So a chimp on average is going to outlive a gorilla. Y'all see what I'm saying? And the reason being is because when you're bigger, you have a faster metabolism. But y'all was taught that when you are bigger, your metabolism is slower. That's not how it works. That's what y'all was taught. You feel like your metabolism is slow is because you are gaining the wrong type of weight. But the reason why you're gaining the type of weight is because your metabolism is actually working effectively. Because now let's say we lived back in the day where food was scarce. The person who had more body fat on their body is going to outlive somebody who has less body fat on their body. So in theory, if I and LeBron James was in the animal kingdom or in a forest and we had to go and see who's going to outlive who the longest, and we both don't catch any food, I will outlive LeBron James every single time. Because I got less muscle mass than him. I'm smaller than him. Okay? So that's why we have to understand physiology. Because a lot of people let these myths go awry and get spread in old wives' tales, let's put it like that. And now we really believe it. And that's not the truth. Just like a lot of women was taught that, oh, when you get older, your metabolism slow down. In order for your metabolism to slow down anything significant, about 10%, you got to live till 90. I don't know about y'all, but a lot of Americans not living till 90. So, maybe it's not the metabolism. Maybe it's what we're choosing to eat and based off our lifestyle. That's causing us to gain the weight that is unwanted. Marianne, you got a question?
Yeah. How does all of this change when a woman has a baby? Because prior to me having a baby, I was never diabetic. And then all of a sudden after I did my blood work like last month or so, and I was on the pre-diabetic scale.
Okay, good question.
So my doctor did kind of mention, you have to give yourself a little time. Your body's still adjusting. And so I just wanted to know, like, how does all of this fit into the equation of, like, how your body changes after you have a baby?
So here's a funny thing. And once again, Marianne notices that she was never in the pre-diabetic range until she had a baby, right? Here's the thing, though. This is now a deeper conversation because it's going to be more cultural. Because now let me ask Marianne one question. Marianne, when you was pregnant, how many times did you went on a designated walk every single day within a week?
I worked out up until I was not. I told you my story. I had a very complicated pregnancy. Yeah, but I worked out. I was doing strength training. I was walking. I was doing everything I was doing until I was told to stop working out, and I had to be admitted into the hospital for a certain amount of months.
Now, what month did you have to be admitted to the hospital?
I was admitted in September, and my baby was due in December.
So, is that month 5 for your pregnancy or 6?
Yes, that was month 5. Yeah.
Now, you basically said you was also bedridden too, right? Were you moving your body when you were bedridden?
I did. I was.
What was you doing?
I was walking just up and I wasn't able to walk as much because I pee-prommed. I had my water broke a little early, it didn't break, it was leaking. So I was walking like through the halls of the hospital back and forth. I went to the garden, I would come back. It wasn't a lot, but I wanted to move.
Okay. So you was trying to move your body, right?
Yes.
But do you think it was getting close to 8,000 to 10,000 steps?
Absolutely not.
Okay. 2, honestly.
Yeah.
You was basically eating from the hospital on an average day. True or false, right?
True.
Tell me what type of food you was eating.
Oh gosh, the food was horrendous.
Exactly. Simple.
It was horrendous.
Simple.
It was just, yeah.
So, ladies, your HbA1c is a snapshot of your diet 3 months ago.
Yeah.
The reason why is because a red blood cell turns over every 90 days. So when you do an HbA1c, that tells you for the past 3 months what type of food you was eating. So if your HbA1c was in a pre-diabetic range, but also Marianne is also letting us know that, hey, I wasn't as active because I am pregnant, but she was moving her body. Let's not get it twisted. She just wasn't as active as she usually do. And I was eating this trash food. And if you pay attention in a hospital, you can have diabetes, and then for breakfast, they're still going to try to give you oatmeal and orange juice.
Yeah, and a cheeseburger and chicken nuggets and French fries, and I had to create my own. I actually had to create my own diet.
This is a whole patient, y'all. But I'm going to feed you some things where now you're going to have to need us longer. You got to understand, they're not in the business of helping. They're in the business of suppressing your symptoms. So if I keep Marianne here just long enough, I mean, she's not really, hopefully, she's not paying out of pocket because we're running that insurance up. So it don't even matter. Just stay here. Just chill out. We just have some orange juice. I know you're sick, but have some orange juice, even though it got some sugar in it, that's going to exacerbate the issue because all bacteria and pathogens feed off sugar. All cancers feed off sugar. What does that mean, y'all? If you choose to fast and you have cancer, you're literally killing off cancer cells. They don't teach you that. They teach you, hey, we got this chemo for you, though. Welcome to America. So,
Lady K, you work in the hospital or something?
You said what?
Lady K work in the hospital.
Oh, you see her keep nodding her head, right? Yeah, that's the head nurse in charge right there. So it's sad, but that's the medical system we work in. And that's why I chose to not really go all the way that route and be like a physician. Because ultimately, I'll put it to you like this. If I was talking to y'all and I was a physician, like a physician, and I was saying this, and they call wind of this, my ass will lose my license. Period.
That's why I don't work in the medical field no more.
You see what I'm saying? Because it's too regulated. You know? And a lot of people don't know is these main sponsors of American Diabetes Association and American Heart Association. You know what? I'm gonna show this. I might mess around and get banned after this call. I don't even care. But if people just do their research,
to me too,
it is what it is.
The premature rupture of membranes, and I was in hospital with my daughter for like a month.
Oh wow!
And they brought me. They brought me sway fish.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, it's kind of like tilapia. I said, I don't want that. I said, so you're telling me in the hospital I can't even get a nutritious meal Nope. I can't even get a nutritious meal in the hospital.
You better get these chicken nuggets and fries.
And
yeah,
even
my
the
husband had to cook
dietitians.
food and bring for me so that I can eat. I wasn't, and if anything they gave me, I told them I want sandwich, a cheese sandwich or a peanut butter and jelly or something. I want their food. It was nasty.
And even the dietitians who come to see us, and they would ask, "Oh, so how are you doing? Can I recommend anything?" I'm like, "Yeah, can you change the food?" Like,
Yeah.
sorry, we don't have control over that.
Disgusting food.
Didn't they make a movie? I think they made a documentary about, like, I guess the guy was eating like the McDonald's burgers, but then they did the documentary about who was behind the Cancer Society and donors, and then they would sit there and I remember it was one show. In the Cancer Society, they were giving them like pork, like all this like high sodium, high sugar type of food at their events. I think it was like a whole thing on like who sponsors all of that.
Okay. So long story short, what I was trying to find was Procter and Gamble, the people who makes Crisco, sponsored the American Heart Association. So now, because they sponsor them, they always got a ruling or say. And you know what happened in the 1940s and 1950s? They started to tell people that saturated fat is bad. The fat that comes from butter, ghee, lard, things like that. That's why we was all taught about a low-fat diet.
I don't know.
Right?
Put it in.
So they could push their own product, which is technically trans fat. or polyunsaturated fat. Now, if you pay attention to
Look, the remote.
what associations or who sponsors like the American Diabetes Association,
And put it to oscillate.
who sponsors American Diabetes Association? Food companies. So yeah, long story short, if you look through these, you're gonna see that some of these people are always gonna be backed by, I don't know, things like PepsiCo or Kellogg or things like that. So is that like not a conflict of interest? Like they selling a product, right? So I am basically taking money from the same people that's trying to push a product that is causing diabetes. So because that is happening, I'm gonna share my screen one more time, y'all. Watch this. After y'all see this, y'all gonna be like, okay, America is crazy. Because it's only happening in America. Watch this. Tuft, Compass, Food, Cheerios. Okay, so there was a thing that came out that basically said Lucky Charms is healthier than eggs. Hold on, let me see. Eggs is unhealthy. Dang, what's it called? What was it?
Hey Trey, don't get them on like the FDA board members be backed by like these ex uh officers of these companies to try to push their regulations
That's what I'm saying.
through.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Food lobbyists. Yeah, this ain't like Lucky Charms. If I find this, y'all, I put it in a video. I gotta find it though. But they literally said Lucky Charms is healthier than steak. Just crazy things like that.
Huh?
So I just gotta find it, man. So, but long story short, y'all, America's food thing is broken, and that's why I try to put food boots on the ground and actually teach y'all things. All right. So, yeah. Do anybody got any questions though? I'm
I
finished.
don't have a
Right.
question, Trey, but you're so right. Because when I came to America, I was 125 pounds. And that's after I had my first son. And look at me now.
Okay. You know what? I found it, y'all. You say I gotta pay for this? But yeah. So here's the thing about what Marianne just said. What was that, Marianne? Who was that? That was Tati.
Oh, Tati, yeah.
Tati. Okay. So Tati, where did you come from?
Jamaica.
Right, Jamaica, right? When you was in Jamaica, how much man-made food y'all ate on an average day?
I don't know.
Not a lot though, right?
I
You
know
probably
like
had
when
some
I
here
was
and
a
there.
kid, eating snack, yeah, but not really.
Okay. So ultimately, one thing people realize is why are they not showing this, bro? I'm getting mad. But yeah, the reason why is because the way Americans actually fix their food. It's not the food itself, it's how it is prepared. So once again, because we're gonna add a little bit more additives, we got some preservatives. For some food, we're gonna add some food colorants to it. We're gonna add some emulsifiers to it. We're not gonna just have regular rice. We're gonna have to fry the rice. All these things is the reason why we have food issues or health issues because we're always manipulating the real version of the food. Let me see. All right, can y'all see this?
Yeah.
All right, bet. Look at this, y'all. It says ground beef, trash, unhealthy. They say cheddar cheese, trash, even though that's the best type of cheese for you. Eggs fried in butter, trash. But you know what's better than eggs fried in butter? Honey Smacks. What's better than Honey Smacks? Honey Bunches of Oats. Special K Cinnamon Peach. But one of the healthiest food basically on earth is Frosted Mini Wheats. Y'all, do y'all see this? Bro. This is nuts. When you pay attention to this is crazy. That's hilarious. Frosted Mini Wheats is the healthiest food over eggs, over real food. Raisin Brands. So just think about that. But why you think it says Kellogg's and Post cereals versus other foods? And Tufts, by the way, is one of the best medical universities that we have access to. Why you think it says Kellogg's and Post cereals versus other foods? Ask yourself the why.
Who they getting these sponsors from?
Who are they getting these sponsors from, right? Okay, you know what? Since Frosted Mini Wheats is the world's greatest thing. I mean, I used to love Frosted Mini Wheats when I was a kid, though. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Let's go ahead and look at the nutrition facts on Frosted Mini Wheats. Okay, cool. So Frosted Mini Wheats for 1 cup is 43 grams of carbs, 6 grams of fiber, approximately 10 grams of sugar. You know what? Let me go on my great app, Nutritionix. Okay, yeah, boom. And this for about 21 biscuits. I don't know about y'all, but you ever had a bowl of Frosted Mini Wheats? You're gonna eat more than 21 biscuits. So, just to show y'all how crazy America is.
They're not crazy, they're liars and thieves.
That's why I tell y'all, no beans, no corn, no bread, no rice. It's not because these things are inherently bad. It's because these things are inherently bad in America where we are living at. If Katisha lived in Jamaica and she said, hey, Trey, can I have some rice? I would say yeah. If Yasmin lived in Portugal, she said, hey, Trey, can I have some bread? I'll say yeah. If LaShonda said, hey, Trey, I'm in Ireland, can I have some potatoes? I'll say yeah. But guess what? None of y'all live there. We live in America.
Yeah. I went to Nigeria in 2023, ate rice, bread, drank soda, Nigerian soda, and I lost weight. That was when I just finished your program, Trey. I went to Nigeria for 10 days and I ate anything I wanted there and I came back and I lost weight.
What does that tell you? It's not the food. Asians on average eat rice every single day. And I'm not being racist. I work with a couple Asians and they actually live in China right now. And one lives in Japan right now. It's not the rice, bro. It's not the rice. It's the extra things we do to the rice. Oh, you know what? Black people, let me add butter to our rice. Or oil to our rice. Or if you're African, palm oil to our rice. So it's not the rice, you added the fat to it. Well, now you're mixing carbs with fats. Okay? Yasmin, good question. She asks, any recommendations for iron supplements? Technically, any iron supplement is cool. Iron by itself, let's say if I told you to get a liquid one, it's going to taste like garbage. Excuse my French, it's going to taste like ass. So what I would tell you to do is if you're going to have iron, make sure you have it near vitamin C. So maybe have an iron supplement around like kiwis or have an orange or have some berries. The reason why is because vitamin C helps aid in your body's absorption of iron. So your body can absorb 4 times more iron with vitamin C if you have it. Do not have iron or don't take your iron supplement with gluten, bread, or dairy. That interferes with the absorption of iron. Okay? But the best source of iron to get, especially with, if you're a menstruating woman, is what? Red meat. Yes, do you eat red meat or no? Okay, so just like you like your seafood, I would tell you to try to have red meat at least once if not twice a week. If you do that once if not twice a week, technically you should be fine. Especially because you eat a lot of seafood. But a lot of women who is iron deficient are women who also eat a lot of chicken as their go-to protein. So just make sure you having more redfish, yes. Here and there some whitefish, but more redfish. So like redfish, actually, salmon, snapper, things like that. Less sea bass, less cod, some shrimp, lobster, crab, oysters, mussels, things like that. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Trey, I'm sorry. The iron without like the vitamin B or C, I forgot which one. Sometimes cause constipation, right?
Which one?
Like iron tablets. Because I know when I was my iron was low and my doctor gave it to me. She gave me like a vitamin. I can't remember B or C because she said like the iron sometimes make you constipated. So the TMI, the vitamin B kind of helped with that.
Yeah,
I
so
don't know what vitamin she gave me. I forgot now, but I know it was a vitamin B or C, something like that.
yeah, so that's why that for some of y'all, I tell y'all to take every single day. Let me see. Vitamin code, raw for women, non-negotiable. If there's only one supplement y'all gotta take for the rest of y'all life, it'll be this. Right here. Vitamin code. Boom. Okay? Now, if you don't want to take a pill version, totally fine. Then I'll say Mary Ruth's. Boom. Sugar-free version. Okay?
So that's legit. I see it all the time on TikTok.
No, yeah, that's legit.
It's the bomb. It's the bomb. I use
Now it's
it,
kind of
and I started
expensive, but it's
using it.
legit.
I use the hair one, and it's making my hair grow for real. Really.
Yeah, because it got the things in it. Yeah. So take that if you want to cover kind of all your bases, and now you can kind of freestyle based off what your specific goals are. All right. But you know what? Let me just do one more thing because Darlene asked for this. She says, "Can you put those numbers in one of your messages?" So yeah. So once again, ladies, if you're looking at a cholesterol panel, you want your total cholesterol ideally under 250. Now, back in the day, if we was alive 30 years ago, they said your total cholesterol is not supposed to be over 300. So now ask yourself why they lowered it to 200. So, to get more people on statins, because statin was the absolute blockbuster drug that dropped, I think in 1987. So the more people got on statin, the more people were sent on to sent on to college. So total cholesterol, ideally though, I would say under 250. But once again, I'm not y'all doctor. Y'all can talk to your own GPs. You want your triglycerides under 100. Ideally under 60. You want your HDL over 60, ideally closer to 100. And you want your HbA1c under 5.7. And I asked her about her fasting insulin. You want your fasting insulin under 10, ideally 10, but ideally 7. And if you track your blood glucose, you want your glucose levels fasting, ideally under 90. Boom. All right, y'all. All right, but other than that, man, I had fun on this call. Thank y'all for making it. I was about to end this call early, but y'all popped up late. Black people, thank y'all. CP time. So, do y'all have any other questions before I let everybody go?
I do. I have one question.
Talk to me.
Is it okay to do fasting periodically while we're in this program? Like if I just say I want to, because there's so many benefits of fasting other than just having your color being purple, your pea color being purple.
Yeah.
Is it okay to fast, like do 24-hour fasting here and there?
The
while we're in this
absolute,
program?
healthiest thing you can do for your body is doing a 48-hour fast. That's enough time where you're not putting too much stress in your body, but you're forcing your body to do something new. Create new stem cells, do something called autophagy, which means self-eating, which means now your old cells that's not working as functionally, is taking them out, recycling them, and replacing them with new cells. So now you are running more efficiently, and that's why if you pay attention, after you break your fast after fasting, you notice you got more energy, you got more spunk to you. Also, your body creates more mitogenesis, or starts something called mitogenesis, which means the creation of new mitochondria, and these are your energy powerhouses to your cells. So you're just going to have more energy, but now your body's going to be able to burn more fat faster, which means now your body can clear the sugar out its system easier. So yes, fasting is ideal. I just did a fast from yesterday to today. I broke my fast today. Not because I had to. You already know that I'm already lean. I did it because I already knew I was kind of wild in these past couple of weeks, especially after my birthday. More drinks, a lot of shots. And I just had to do a detox for myself. And now, since I did this detox, I'm telling y'all, I can feel like my brain is just like optimized. But that's the benefits of fasting. Because ketones is a cleaner source of energy for your body than sugar, even though your brain usually uses sugar to run off of. Okay? So yeah. So ladies, 48-hour fast, great. 24-hour fast, good. Just not great. Anything after 72 hours or after 48 hours, you are kind of doing it for more health benefits. So I would say I would recommend that if you're trying to like fix an injury, you're dealing with some form of inflammation that you're trying to get rid of, or you're dealing with some form of cancer. But after 48 hours, you're good to go. You can kind of break it from there. Okay? But fasting is the healthiest thing for your body. People who fast more happen to be people who live longer. The average Muslim lives longer than the average Christian. Ask yourself why.
They fast for a month, I believe.
And what's that called?
Ramadan.
Ramadan.
Yes.
Straight that simple. All right. Good question. LaShonda, you got a question?
Yeah, I was just wondering, what was that Nutrition X? What was that app you said you were looking at for the, or did I hear you wrong?
No, so the app that I like to use, period, if I'm looking stuff up, is Nutrition IX. So if you have an Android, type in Nutrition IX App Store, or in your case, Play Store, because they renamed it to something different in the Play Store, but it's the same app. It's called like Food Tracker or something.
And I will say, every time I do have a cheat day, or a cheat meal, or a cheat day, I fast the next day and I get right back on track.
Makes sense to me.
I don't know why that works for me, but it does.
Because you're literally giving your body the ability to clear out everything that you ate the previous day. So
because I did more like a 36-hour fast.
Yeah.
I didn't quite make it to 48, but
and that's fine. And that's what I'm trying to say. So y'all don't have to always do a 48. Just if you really tell yourself, okay, I was wilding out like this. The reason, I'll be honest with y'all, the reason why I did a fast is because I was at a what's that show called that everybody's watching now? I was at a Love Island watch party for the finale. And somebody, I'm not familiar with Love Island, y'all, but every single time somebody got a text, we got to take a shot. So we end up taking about 10 to 12 shots. And I know my liver wasn't having it. So I was like, all right, bro. Like, I never took this many shots, like, for years. Let's put it like that. So yeah, let me just go ahead and do this 40-hour fast. I kind of deserve this one. You see what I'm saying?
I started to feel bad after, when I hit 48, every time I try to do that, I feel bad. So I stopped eating at 6 on Sunday, but I ate at like 12, 1 o'clock today.
Okay, that's fine.
And I still lost, so okay.
But once again, ladies, if you're starting to feel some type of way or feel bad or feel like you got low energy, lethargic during the fast, that's your body letting you know it's depleted of electrolytes. So one thing that I did this fast that I usually don't do, I was thinking about using my pink Himalayan salt, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to do something different. I really got a real lemon. And I squeezed a whole half a lemon into my water. I'm telling y'all, ladies, that got me up and running again. So once again, if you want to add lemon to your water, lemon is one of the healthiest fruit you can add inside your system or inside your water. You're going to get more benefits putting lemon inside your water than benefits just drinking water by itself. What's your question, LaShonda?
Even in the smart water?
Doesn't matter. I put lemon in a
Okay,
smart
I
water.
gotta add a little stevia though. Sorry?
You say you got to add stevia to it.
Yeah, it's nasty.
Lemon?
And lemon straight water, that's just nasty lemonade. No sweetness to it.
If you got to add sugar or stevia inside your lemon water, you sound like a crackhead. I'm not even going to lie to you. So,
Cucumber,
LaShonda,
yeah.
we don't got to add no stevia to it. If you can't have lemon water, just have...
Cucumber and mint is good.
Cucumber mint is cool too, yo. Try cucumber mint. If you got to flavor your water. You don't like that either, LaShonda?
I've never tried it.
Adding stevia to your water sounds crazy.
Cucumber, mint, and lemon.
That's hilarious. I'm sorry.
Good.
I feel you, Katisha.
Okay.
I'll do that too. I know how that tastes, but stevia inside water, that's basically sugar
Cucumber
water.
water, I've never had that, so
It's refreshing. When I went to Puerto Rico, that's what they even had in like the waiting area of the hotel.
Trey, I had this is Darlene. I had a question. What about that hint water?
What's it called? Hint?
Hint.
Okay, good question. Because I be looking at that here and there. But one thing a lot of people don't do, once again, you gotta read the full label. Because what a lot of people don't know, hint water. You notice how they promote themselves as a beverage company? So let's see. Hint water nutrition facts. Okay, let's look at this right here. Oh, you know what? Let me type in Target because we already know Target's gonna give you all the real spill. So hint water, boom. Now, once again, the main keyword is gonna be flavored water. So if they say they are a flavored water, then you can have it. Because you're gonna also notice that some companies masquerade as a flavored water, but they're really a flavored beverage, which means we added more ingredients to it. So if y'all looking at stuff like this, let's look at the nutrition facts. Purified water and natural flavors. So Darlene, can you have this? I don't know if she can hear me, but basically yes, because it's flavored water. Now, something else that is something that y'all can't have, and by the way, this hint water, y'all can have this anytime, period, during the day. I don't care if you wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning and say, oh man, I'm parched, I would really like some water, and you grab a hint, you can have it, right? But that is totally different from the ice drinks. Sparkling ice, right? Even though it says, oh, Trey, 0 calories, right? But if you really pay attention to it, they promote themselves as a flavored sparkling water, right? Which is why you gotta read the label. But if you look at the ingredients, how in the hell is this water, y'all? How, Sway? Y'all see how many different ingredients is in this? That's why y'all got to read the label. Don't just take their word for it. And by the way, I don't know one water on earth that got calories. So they ain't lying. They just know the average person is not going to read all that. So you know what? We're just going to say we're water, and we're not water. We're a sparkling beverage. Okay? So just make sure y'all actually reading. So once again, LaCroix, bubblies, hints, those things like that, you can have anytime during the day. If it got less than 3 ingredients in it, you can have it anytime during the day. Now, things like these Izzy's, the Junies, sometimes the San Pellegrinos, these, now they're going to say sparkling drinks. So just make sure you read, or sparkling beverage.
Is it me or your screen froze?
I don't know.
It was you.
Your screen is frozen, Trey, because it's still on hint.
Oh, my screen is frozen, y'all?
It was still on hint. So I don't know.
Is it good now?
We don't see what you're
We
sharing.
back to just seeing you though.
Okay, all right. So long story short, sparkling beverage. Read the label. All right. But thank y'all for making this call. It's about 7:15 now, so I'm gonna just go ahead and end this, or 7:25. But I had a good conversation with y'all, and the next one will be on Thursday. So be on the lookout for the video if you missed this replay. Send it to your family and friends. All right. Thank y'all. Talk to you soon.